Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the SHW F1 podcast. I'm Tom Delicati here with Dr. John. Oh, I did it again. Dr. John.
I love getting promoted week after week as a doctor.
Am I back to being Beast again?
Yep.
I am here with Dr. Brady King. Not Dr. John White. We are your underinformed American buddies talking about F1. Baku this weekend. This is our race review episode. So, of course, we'll talk about what happened in the race. We've got a rookie duty to hand out later. John might go on a little rant, and we're just going to give him the floor in a few minutes to see. He kind of teased us via text about what he might talk about. So we'll give him the floor here in a little bit. But, as you all know, before we can do any of that, a tradition unlike any other. It's our 15-second race reviews. Did you guys like that? I just kind of put myself in the moment there. I closed my eyes, the whole 9 yards.
I was feeling
it. Was very Vern. Very
we're
Vern
like
Lundquist.
6 months out, right? So we're closing in on the spring all over again. It's about that time.
Yes.
Surprised we haven't been slapped with a lawsuit for using that yet. Maybe
John, in order for us to be slapped with a lawsuit, people actually have to listen to this.
Yep.
It's the uphill battle that our listeners have. So yeah, we've got to do 15-second race reviews, and we do these in order of our championship point standings. And last week we had a shift in the standings where I took third place, and so I was going to go first. This week we have a tie for third place.
Yeah.
Ooh.
We sure do.
So
Ooh.
I have come charging back, and the big news out of this weekend is not only do we have a tie for third place, we thought John was running away from this thing, and he is within 5 points.
It's getting tight again.
It is definitely getting tight. There's 7 races to go. We've got a lot of ground to make up, Brady, at 105 points each, and John at 110.
Yep.
But he is very much in striking distance.
Strap on for the end of the season.
I'm probably going to end up pulling a Lando here and just lose it.
This is a
last 2
family
races.
show.
Strap on, gentlemen.
Let's keep this TV 14.
Right.
Yeah. So the big news out of this weekend was, well, there were a few big stories out of this weekend. Max dominating. Oscar hitting the wall in turn 1. Oscar qualifying terribly. Not turn 1, I'm sorry. But first lap.
Yep.
He qualified terribly. So did Lando. But our championship leader hits the wall first lap of the race. Drops to 20th and then hits the wall. That was the big news.
Yep.
But,
well, he was 19th, I think, but close enough.
And our good friend of the program, Carlos Sainz, scoring a podium for Williams. These are all really big stories. So what do you guys want to talk about?
Well, I thought we were going to talk about our 15-second race review first.
Oh, my gosh. Son of a...
Tom, this is what happens when you're trying to watch football and produce at the same time.
You're 100% right.
So for the listeners, this is going on while the Lions Monday night game is on. And me and Tom are from Detroit.
We're watching the Lions and the Ravens on Monday Night Football.
Two Detroitians. Is that what it is? Detroitians?
Detroiters.
Yeah.
Or Detrites?
I really don't like your tone of voice, sir.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry for not being able to multitask, but let me do my 15-second race review real quick. Here we go. All right. So instead of a 15-second race review, this is going to be more like 5 seconds because nothing happened. Nothing happened in the race. It was so boring. It was so difficult to watch. Good night.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Oh, the most exciting thing that happened is that Lando had a 4.1 second pit stop. That was the most exciting thing that happened.
Yeah.
All right. Brady, you're up.
Thanks, random celebrity number 18, for coming today to be our flag waver for qualifying. Could you grab that red flag and give it a wave? Usually we don't have many red flags, so could you wave it again? Yeah, sorry about that. What projects are you working on? Grab the red flag again, please. So what were you working on? Underwater guitar lessons for the poor? Okay, if you say so. Wait, what? Both Alpines in the same corner? For fuck's sakes, red flag.
Good Lord.
Underwater guitar lessons for the poor.
For the poor.
Yeah.
It would be better if it was for the blind. That would have been
We're for the
Just,
deaf.
Hey, just take some notes. Take that back
we're gonna workshop
for
for next time.
Yep, exactly. Sorry, John, go ahead.
Baku, where the Caspian Sea isn't the only thing making waves. Ahead of rumors that F1 isn't long enough, they gave us the longest quali in history, followed by a right hook from Oscar Piastri in turn 1, or at least lap 1. Put a bow on it with the craziest top 5 we've seen all season, and you've got some baklava for F1 fans to munch on. I can see it now. Carlos, Yuki, and Lawson walking into the sunset of the Maiden Tower with their middle fingers in the air saying, I just don't give a you-know-what. Did I mention Carlos got a podium at Williams before Lewis did at Ferrari? That was terrible reading on my part, but you get the gist.
But somehow it was still right on 15 seconds, I think.
Yeah, we all stayed with you for the entire 45-second, 15-second race review.
My 15-second race reviews keep getting longer and longer.
So between Oscar, Max, Carlos, who do you want to talk about first?
Carlos.
Oh yeah? Okay.
I think Carlos, just because of my final point of him getting a podium at Williams before Lewis did at Ferrari.
I was going to save it for like the dessert because I like to finish on a high note, but yeah.
YOLO.
Okay.
Eat dessert first.
No, we're going straight. Yeah.
YOLO.
Yeah.
Let's
ice
go
cream
right
first.
into
Let's do it.
All right. Well, tell me about your ice cream, Brady.
Dude, how can you not be excited for him, right? I mean, the little smile on James's face when they panned over to him when they knew, okay, this is actually going to happen. We got ourselves a podium. Just, it's a feel-good story, right? Like, I can't look at Carlos the way this season is going and not feel bad for him. And if there was going to be a race where Williams can get on the podium, it's going to be one where it's like a high-speed race. So
what I hear you saying is find someone who looks at you the way Brady looks at Carlos.
yeah, kind of.
That's kind of what I hear you saying.
Yeah.
When
there's advertisements that come across my screen, like on my computer, and it's like a Carlos, you're just like, I'm sorry, huh?
I blacked out.
Yeah.
It was honestly, and I don't know if it was hyperbole, but I loved how excited he was over the radio and how he like exclaimed, like, this is the best podium of my career without question. Like, he was so proud of that for him and for the
really
entire team.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. He needed a result and homeboy got a result. You know what I mean?
Yep.
The dead sprint to his team.
Oh yeah. The camera couldn't keep up. It was argued. And I know we've had some really cool finishes and some podiums this season. I think this is 1A and 1B with the Nico podium at Silverstone.
Oh yeah.
This podium was so cool.
Yep.
I think the best part for Carlos in this case had to be that it wasn't like a fluke. It wasn't like there were 10 accidents and he snuck onto the podium, or like he qualified had some crazy,
held it.
He didn't have some crazy tire strategy that just like panned out because of some craziness or whatever. No, he qualified well and put his car out there and stayed ahead of everybody for the whole race.
And compare him to what happened to Lawson, because Lawson started in the top 3.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I mean, he it's not like he did poorly. But he got passed by Carlos and 2 Mercedes, right? Or no, did Carlos qualify second?
Carlos
qualified second. Lawson
Finished
was third.
My apologies. Right. So Lawson got passed by both Mercedes. Carlos only got passed by 1.
Correct.
I got it. Okay. And, we were all looking forward to hopefully better overtaking.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we had everybody talking to us before the race saying, like, yes, the wind changed. They're going to love this headwind coming into turn 1 down the main straight.
Okay.
You just couldn't pass. You couldn't pass at all. And you had to do strategy passes, which I don't always hate if they're mixed in with passing on track.
Yeah. It's always, it's crazy when you look at this track and you think there's these big long straights. DRS should be a big thing here, but because you run such low downforce, it just doesn't matter, right? You've got to be within, I think they were early on and they were trying to kind of figure out, like, what do you have to be coming out of turn 16 to realistically pass on the straight? And it had to be within like a half a second, which is really, really hard in this day and age with the way the cars are set up. So
you
like,
can't be a half a second behind and
like,
be in
lap.
clean air.
Yeah, you can't, you have to play your entire lap to come out of that one corner. And if you're just not in exactly the right spot, pack it in and try and do it again on the next lap. And you just basically spend a minute and 45 seconds going around to try again.
And that's the reason that you need to be in first place. That's the reason you get on pole. Because look, Max just had another see you later weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
Which
2 in
we
a row
were
at
doubting
very
if he could do it 2 in a row, right? Like, did he figure out something with the car? What was the deal? Don't think he's going to be able to repeat it. And then,
I really felt like this one and Las Vegas were the two biggest opportunities for someone to take another win this season. And it was so apparent after qualifying that like there's just no chance for anybody in the papaya to come up through the I thought that Lando could have gotten a podium. And at qualifying, I thought, okay, he can probably get up to third or second, but there's no chance of him passing Max. None.
Yep.
And he couldn't even get that far. He if he would have executed that pit stop, if his team could have executed the pit stop, he would have finished 5th. That's the best McLaren could have done.
yeah, qualifying 7th and 9th
Yeah.
for McLaren.
Well, it was.
I mean, we will say qualifying was kind of a poop show.
It was messy.
There were. Every time I looked up at qualifying, everybody just kind of chilling, waiting for things to regroup again. It's like,
it was crazy.
Took forever.
I missed it, and I turned on. I pulled it up on the DVR, and it was like, the first thing I saw, Cheryl says, "How long is qualifying normally?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, why? She's like, because it's like 2 hours and 25 minutes. I'm like, all right.
It's the same reaction I had because I missed it real time, and I put it on later in the afternoon, and I pulled up the recording, and it's like, typically qualifying is like an hour and 5 or an hour and 10, and I see I see over 2 hours. I'm like, oh boy, what happened?
Right.
I'm thankful that I wasn't watching it real time. Let's just put it that way. So I was able to fast forward through a lot of the.
I would have needed a lot of alcohol. Can we take one
at 8 a.m. on Sunday?
Oh, yeah. Yes, 100%. Can we take just a quick moment though to lament? I know it's Alpine and they suck, and we don't want to waste too many words, but Gasly spinning out in that corner, and then Colapinto pulling like the the 16-year-old driver move of like, hey, what's going on over here? Oh shit, a wall.
Why are his lights on? Oh my gosh, what's happening over there? Guys, are you seeing this? Boom. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Classy move.
Yeah.
Classy Colapinto.
Oh man.
You just had no room. What are you gonna do?
So Max was dominant. Carlos podium awesome. Oscar, I think it was just a one-off. I really don't think anything's wrong, but he made way more mistakes this weekend than he has all year combined.
Yeah.
And I don't see that happening over and over again. I think he's fine. I think he's going to bounce back next week or next race. And Singapore, it's another qualifying track. You got to qualify well at Singapore. It's going to be another parade. And it's unfortunate, but this is the world we're in right now.
Doesn't it give you a little bit of hope that there's been some disruption at the top? And so like here we are thinking about theoretical things that could happen. Like, all right, Max has won 2 in a row. If he wins the next 7, like he's
not going to win the next 7.
He's not going to, right? But he could.
Let me just burst your bubble now.
Yeah.
All right, that's my 40 pointer is Max wins the next 7.
I'll give it to you.
Yeah, you got it.
I'll give it to you for 40. Yeah, I'll give it to you.
Okay. If I get it, I get 40. If I don't get it, I lose nothing. That's a win-win for me. I'll take it.
Yeah, but you can't guess any other 3-pointers. That's the thing. So if you take the 40-pointer, you can't guess.
This is like that MTV thing where they did the basketball when they had the hoop that was like 45 feet up in the air and it was like a 50-point thing and nobody could get it.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. Yeah. I don't think anything terrible happened to McLaren this weekend. Like in terms of, they really, really screwed up. They're bound to have an off weekend. And typically their off weekends only affect one of their drivers where the other one goes on to do just fine. This time it affected both of them. And that was the first time that had happened.
This just seemed like Oscar getting caught out a little bit. Maybe it was the wind a little bit. I mean, he qualified poorly. I can't explain the start. If it had been anybody else who, had qualified in the middle of the pack and then just had a bad start, you just wipe it off. But the fact that it was Oscar sort of having a bad qualifying, then having a bad start, you're like, what's going on? But then it felt like the wreck was just crap. What did I do? And he just like panic button trying to do too much on lap 1. And so you could almost see that coming, right? Like I fell way far back. I got to do something. Push too hard. Put it in the wall.
Do you think it was a little bit of panic hero? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I think he looked at like, I'm in 19th on this track. If I'm going to salvage anything out of this, I have to do it on lap 1. And he pushed too hard.
Well, it's a position he hasn't been in before.
Yeah, well, certainly not since maybe, I don't remember what his first couple of races were.
Since he was test driving for Alpine, he hasn't been in this position.
I think it's one of those, like, if you've never been thrown in the deep end of the pool, you don't know how you're going to react. And he was thrown in
just kind of thrashing around over there.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I think so.
How did he get his cell phone, by the way, when he was sitting in that little area all by himself?
He had a steward's cell phone. That's what they said on the broadcast. Like,
okay,
here he is watching. Because
I'm trying to figure out, like, you didn't have a cell phone on you in the car, and if someone brought you your cell phone, wouldn't you just go back to the paddock?
He's like, no, I'm not going back to the paddock. Sitting here in this corner,
and my cell
I'm
phone.
watching it on my phone.
That's awesome.
Ugh.
Imagine being the marshal, though, where it's like, Oscar Piastri watched the race on my phone. I didn't get any pictures of it because he had my phone, but like, he was watching it.
Or the fact that you're not important enough that Oscar just be like, give me your phone.
Yeah, hey, hand it over.
Man.
Oh, man. Well, let's take a quick break. And when we come back, John's going to let us know his true feelings about Formula One. So, John, you texted us, you teased us, you tickled us. What are you feeling right now? How you doing, buddy?
Yeah, is everything all right over there?
You know, everything is okay, but we just spent the first half of the podcast talking about how boring the race was. And it seems that more often than not, that seems to be the theme of every single weekend. Like,
well,
man,
let me stop
what a
you
boring
there.
Race.
Let me stop you there
Go ahead.
because I agree. I'm agreeing with you.
Sure.
What is exciting? What's the opposite of boring in F1?
I will tell you because I have some trivia.
Oh,
he came.
We were expecting you to just take the next 10 minutes and talk, but now we have to be more involved because you're going to ask us questions.
Nope, this is a three-way, and so all of us must participate.
I haven't been in very many threes. Is that how it works?
Yes.
Well, when you say you haven't been in very many, that alludes to the fact that you've been in multiple.
Zero is not many.
Very many is less than 2, right? Like that's a couple is 2 or less.
Yeah.
Or exactly 2.
Brady's really peeling back the curtain here on his personal life.
Here, I wanted everybody to think out in Radio Land that like I wasn't a square, but zero is less than many.
Continue, John.
Fair enough.
We're very juvenile over here.
Yeah, we try. So I'll give you kind of just some headlines here, and then we'll get into trivia. I think that there's a couple of things that are affecting what makes the weekend exciting whenever I look at it. And we talked about it earlier. I think overtakes is the number one thing. When we see overtakes, those are exciting. When we see a battle at the top, that tends to be exciting. When we see any sort of battling take place, that seems to be exciting. And I think this weekend, although the race as a whole might not have been as exciting as we want, there's 2 main reasons that it probably was more exciting than we think it is. Number one, the top 5. Seeing people like Lawson, Yuki, Carlos up there competing, we don't get to see that very often. Just seeing those guys up there, I think, is exciting. But also, if you look at some of the data, as far as positions gained or lost, there was actually quite a few. So the average number of positions exchanged per driver from start to finish was 3, and that's taking out Oscar's 11th place drop. So we take Oscar out, 3. Every driver, with the exception of 5, had some sort of position gained or lost, and multiple had 6 positions. So you're looking at Hadjar, Bort, both had 6. Ollie had 4. Lawson had 4. Russell had 3. a lot of twos, a lot of ones, and it's all in the midfield. Thomas,
I have a question.
your hand is raised for those at home that can't see.
It's less of a question. I'm sorry to interrupt you because this is
Nope.
all interesting and relevant. How many of those position changes would have happened actually on track? And number two, a follow-up question, which you might not have the answers to. These are rhetorical. How many did we actually see on the broadcast?
And that is my second point. The majority of the overtakes are only focused on the top 3 drivers. And all of the overtakes damn near happen in the midfield. And we never get to see it. So I think part of the issue as to why I'm becoming somewhat complacent with Formula One is there's not enough action being shown in the broadcast. They think we only want to see Max going away with it and Carlos and Lawson and whoever's battling for second or third, when really like 6th through 11th is where all of the action is taking place, but we never see it.
They for a while there, they were doing better with more of like the picture in picture if there were things happening at the same time, like being able to see 2 things at once. But I'm with you. I think and we are, I don't want to say we are hardcore F1 fans, but I would say we are stronger fans than the casual F1 fan.
We're
right?
dedicated.
Yes,
Is
exactly.
it cleaner or dirtier to say softcore?
I like that. We're softcore F1 fans.
We'll workshop that one.
Yeah. I like where your head's at, Brady.
Yeah.
I'm uncomfortable.
We're like the Cinemax of F1 fans.
The blue. Yeah.
It's getting worse. No, but I do think that the responsibility of the F1 is to make the broadcast more appealing as it possibly can. And I know you can't predict what's going to happen, but you've got more than one person in the truck saying, go to camera 5, go to camera 15, all that stuff. Like you've got more people in there who can help cue up what's happening and be a little more reactive to show things in real time or as real time as possible. We weren't even getting like replays and flashbacks of these overtakes. It was just like, yeah, they swap positions, or you'd see it on the timing tower. But I say all this being like, yes, they've promoted the F1 experience or app, and Sky Sports F1, press your red button and you can go on board with all 20 drivers. They really pushed that for a while. You know what? Your casual F1 fan is not subscribing to that. Heck,
no.
We are softcore F1 fans and we don't subscribe to that.
Yeah.
So my point on that is, don't make it difficult for me to enjoy the sport. And I know you can't predict it's like watching a blowout football game. It's like I'm watching a game and it's 55-6. I have to be invested in the team in order to see that type of blowout.
Yeah.
Or I'm walking away from the TV. And you got to keep it interesting to hold the casual fan.
I'll play devil's advocate and agree with Tom that I think if there was a better way we could figure out how many of those overtakes were off track, that would account for a lot. Because I remember at one point thinking, how did Carlos lose the spot? And it comes down to just like pit strategies. And, so yeah, there's some people moving around, but that also was something that I felt like they didn't highlight, even if they couldn't show it as a replay. Like you can't show somebody getting past in the pits, but they could have called out what happened. Like I always feel like one of the things as a casual fan that really sucks is when they say, oh, they're trying for the overtake, and they never really explain what that is other than, oh, they're going to go into the pit, or the overcut? The overtake, whatever, or overcut or undercut. I'm sorry. So they're always going to try for like we'll go to the pits early, come out, and they'll have an offset, and they don't really explain what that means. And then it happens, and that's a really good opportunity for them to say, like, see, he went to the pits early, and now the other guy comes in a little bit later, and this is what the result was. And since they didn't call it out, you don't really see anybody moving around the board. So then they're just left commenting on like, oh yeah, look at he's working on his tires. Whatever. It just feels boring. Like, tell me what's going on about the little battles within the battles, right? That
Mhm.
aren't just on the track too.
I feel like they did the best job they did of that this weekend. And don't get me wrong, I'm a big fan of the Harry Benjamin and Karun Chandok tag team. I'm a
Same.
big fan of that.
Same.
They did their best job they did this entire weekend was explaining what Lando was trying to do. They made it all very clear of why he's doing what he's doing, how important the pit stop is. Let's watch it. Like, they built that up. That was very suspenseful.
Yep. I also want to point out that I am getting more and more invested in every time Bernie Collins comes on to say something, because she's
fantastic.
Yeah. Every single time she has something, she is right on. Like, and
John?
always is something that I wasn't thinking about.
John, hold your thoughts. We know.
I'm not saying anything.
We know. You've said it before.
I'm not saying a
We
word.
know. We know. I know. Hey, shh.
Just smiling.
Shh.
Just smiling.
We know. Continue, Brady.
I think that's all Brady had on that.
Yeah, that was it.
He likes Bernie.
That was all I got.
Rookie duty time. Here we go.
Well, I will give you 2 more points that I think are interesting, because I went back and I looked and I was thinking to myself, does this have to do with how many times, like how many wins from pole we have per average on season? Does that have an effect on like why I'm losing interest? And it's 2021, we had 12 wins from pole, 22, 10, 23, 15, 24, 12. And so far in 2025, we've had 7. So like the averages are about the same. But what we do have that's vastly different, and it doesn't differentiate between on and off track, is the average number of overtakes per season. And that number is dwindling. Like 2021, you basically had like an average of 37 per race, and 22, you had an average of 45 per race, and 23, when most of us really got into it, you had an average of 50 overtakes per race. Then in 2024, you had an average of 32 per race. And now it's going back down. And now the averages are going back down to the 30s.
Yeah,
so I think that's another thing, is like when we started watching it, you're like in the 45 and 50 overtakes per race. And now we're getting down into like the high 20s, low 30s.
I mean, it's a big deal that we're going to new regulations next year, because these
2026
suck.
can't come fast enough.
Yeah.
These regulations suck. They wanted to promote passing, and I'm not going to blame anybody. It's just they didn't work. This is not the correct kind of car to promote passing. What I will say, though, is this has been the best year in terms of teams moving up and down, right? Like, you don't have these teams that are just trash, and then you have like a couple of solid midfielders, and the top teams, you've got Ferrari going up and down the board. You got Williams suddenly on a podium. You got Hulk suddenly on a podium.
RBs.
So, right. The top spots are still boring like they've been the last several years, but at least everybody's moving up and down. So that, at least if you're not going to get overtaking on the track, point that stuff out too. Call out that midfield as best you can, which I think they try. But obviously for the casual fan, it's really hard to be like, Liam Lawson's having a great race if you don't know or care who Liam Lawson is. Like, they only care about Max and Lando.
Right. This is still just like really any other sport, unless you're invested in the team or the person. This is a championship based sport. And if it has no impact on the championship, or is not like exciting from a championship perspective, people will lose interest very quickly.
Yeah. Yeah, because the best story here should be like Carlos and Hulk's podiums. Like, to me, that's the high points of the season. But like, does anybody really, like, we'll remember that, but is anybody else going to remember that?
Yeah, you're that's fair. You're right. Oh, well, I think, again, 2026 can't come fast enough. I think the new regulations, I'm hoping the new regulations shake things up. We need to go back to V8 engines as soon as possible.
Yeah.
I love the idea that that's at least in consideration for 2030.
Yeah. Yep.
I really hope that they're able to do something sooner than that, because they're going further towards battery power for this next set of regulations. But I'm going to take it. As long as we can get away from this turbulent air, ground effects, DRS nonsense that we've been dealing with. I don't actually hate DRS, and I want to go. This is a topic for another day, but they had something in the pre-race, maybe 2 or 3 races ago, where they were really dissecting and kind of going around the room or around the commentary box, talking about What are your thoughts on DRS? Do you think it worked for the time we had it? You know it's going away next year. And it was almost unanimous of people saying, yeah, I think DRS was good.
Well, imagine,
which surprised me. That's a conversation for another day. I apologize. But
okay. Slight note on that one. Imagine this race without DRS.
oh gosh.
And that's kind of the point, right? Like it's even worse. So like it does what it's supposed to. It's just it's not enough.
Mm-hmm.
Like the cars are still can't get close enough to each other.
Yeah. Well, and it's leading up to the DRS zone. It's the final corners leading up to the DRS zone. That is,
it changes the strategy
everything.
too, right?
Yeah.
Like you're not racing around these other corners. You're racing to get to the DRS zone to try and make a pass there. Because it makes sense. Why would you try and pass anywhere else?
I'm with you.
Anyway,
rookie duty. Got to wrap this
rookie
up.
Duty time.
Tie a bow on the duty.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we had again a lovely weekend of who's in the conversation for rookie duty. This is always fun. I'll open the floor for nominations or at least discussion.
I will throw Liam Lawson's name into the ring for great qualifying and tricky conditions. Didn't totally capitalize on it, right? Didn't finish on the podium, but did finish a solid fifth.
And if you watched his qualifying interview, it was obvious that he did not have his sights set on the podium for the weekend. He knew that it was going to be a very, very tough order for him to finish on the podium.
He knows he doesn't have the car for it.
But for the first,
he could with that car.
For the first half of the race, you see him holding on to that, and you're like, "Dang, that's." And they mentioned it multiple times on the broadcast. Like, shout out to Liam Lawson for driving the way he is right now because he was putting it together.
Yep.
John,
I was going to throw Hadjar's name in there just from a point of consistency, being up in the points the past few times, but it's hard to overlook Lawson. With the season.
Duty?
He is a consistent duty. He's a consistent number 2.
The doctor
Metamucil,
really good. Yeah,
high fiber diet. He's doing really well.
Yeah, the doctors are like,
solid
this is
number
good.
2. But it's hard to overlook Lawson.
You're healthy
this weekend.
Yeah, I'm with you. I thought this was perhaps Antonelli's best race in at least the last 8 or 9 races.
Yeah.
He did have the podium in Canada, but this was in a tough street circuit where there were a lot of collisions with the wall, a lot of red flags. He kept it clean, and throughout the whole weekend, he had a very, very good weekend.
Yep.
A very good race. I'm happy for him. I will agree with you that Liam Lawson gets the actual award this week.
All right.
Look for your duty in the mail next weekend.
I don't think you can send them by the mail, but anyways, that'll do it for us this week.
New Zealand too. It's gonna have to be packed in ice.
Anyways, that'll do it for us this week. We appreciate you listening. Until next time, thank you, and y'all have a good night.